Welcome to the show. I'm Danella, and here's what's happening now. Man, another eventful week in our world. For the first time ever, hip-hop topped the charts in the U.S. as the most popular music. I actually remember a time where I knew folks who didn't even know what rap music was. Also in the news, of course, I'm going to talk about the situation in Baltimore. I'm going to let you know what the folks on the ground are saying. This is after a police officer suspended after body camera shows him allegedly planting evidence at the scene of a crime. And remember last week I was talking to you about the documentary, It's a Cowspiracy. It's What's the Health. I'll let you know. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, oh man, I'll let you know not only what I saw, but how it's now affecting my life. But first, we got to kick off Political Pop, which is sponsored by Intuitive Creative Agency. Thank you so much for sponsoring Political Pop this week. Hey, if you got a new website you're working on, let them help you. You have a logo that you need. They can solve that problem too. All you need to do is log on to intuitivecreate.com. Now, Political Pop, it's been crazy in our world. Now, we saw the healthcare bill flop again, right? Flopped again. No votes because they couldn't even figure out what they were voting on. But then on Wednesday, during a New York Times interview, Trump should have been talking about healthcare. Instead, he chooses to really diss the homie. What? Yes. He says, you know what? I wouldn't even have nominated Jeff Sessions. If I would have known, he would have recused himself. This is like, when we're talking about Jeff Sessions in relation to Donald Trump and his presidency, it's kind of what Drake would call a day one. Sessions was the first senator to stand up and support Donald Trump. And then now he's saying, hey, I wouldn't even have nominated the guy if I'd known he would have recused himself in this investigation. And all the while, no one's solving the healthcare crisis that's happening here. Okay? We're talking about 3 flops, back to the drawing board. Even this week, okay, they're supposed to be voting on some kind of bill to repeal Obamacare. They still haven't come up with any type of agreement, you know. And let me tell you this, right? Alaskan senator leaving the healthcare meeting, right? And this is Lisa Murkowski. I'm not from Alaska, so I had to look up her name. Yeah, so Lisa Murkowski says, and this is when she's asked, like, hey, are you going to vote on a motion to proceed? You know what she says? Her quote is, we don't know what the motion to proceed is to. That's the concern. To proceed to what? Are you serious? And this is a real crisis here. And I don't know if you're thinking this, but I know a lot of people are thinking this. Each time a bill gets, crushed, you might feel some relief thinking, okay, yeah, we still got Obamacare. Yeah, but no news in this case is not good news because Republicans have the ability to repeal without reform. And if that were to happen, that would be terrible. Here's why. The Congressional Budget Office is saying, and this is a nonpartisan office, they're saying that if you repeal with no plan in place, that means 32 million more Americans without health care coverage for 10 years. For 10 years. That's a tragedy. And that's your political pop. And now we're going to shoot over to Baltimore, the situation there where a police officer, what's this guy's name? Richard Pinero, right? In January 22nd, he arrested someone, right? This person has been held in jail for 6 months. Why? Because drugs found at the scene. I know you've seen this. There's no way you couldn't have seen this footage. If you haven't, this is what you would be watching, right? You can Google this, look this up. It's crazy. So the officer, he's on the scene with 2 other officers. He then does what appears to be placing drugs at the scene of a crime. He then walks out of the alley onto the main roadway, right? Turns on his body cam and then goes back in. He didn't realize that his body cam was recording, right? So he goes back in and then discovers the drugs. So he's since been suspended. The other 2 officers that were on the scene of the crime, they have since been on what's called desk duty. They're not allowed to really deal with the public, but they're still working. Now, there's a lot of concern here, because the public defendant yesterday had an interview with NPR in which he said, you know what, this officer that's in question has not only been allowed to still be a defendant, I'm sorry, to still show up to courts and be a witness for other cases, right? He has 53 other cases that he's named as a witness in. And in the last case, and this is just a week after being suspended, he's a witness, right? And in that case, he didn't even have to divulge that he's currently on suspension for corruption. He's currently being investigated for corruption. And this is a serious problem here, because think about it. If you or I, if we were arrested and we went to go later get a job, and even if we were found not guilty, that potential job wouldn't hire us. They would say, hey, you were arrested. Not hiring you. A lot of people lose their current jobs because of arrest, even if they were found guilty, even if it was mistaken identity, they lose their job because you're showing the company in a poor light. And so in this case, it really brings up serious concerns that we really need some type of reform, because if you're on camera showing what appears to be planting evidence, and let's say best case scenario, ride with me on this. Best case scenario is that he found the drugs earlier, right? Best case scenario, was thinking, hey, let me go put the drugs back so I can turn my camera on and show myself picking it up. That's best case scenario. So even if he did that, that's still dishonest. Still dishonest. That's still a problem. And then the other problem is, why is said individual still allowed to testify as a witness to other crimes in the Baltimore area without divulging to a jury, I'm currently being investigated for planting evidence, just to let you guys know. And of course, everybody's looking at the state's attorney there. Of course, everybody's looking at the police commissioner. The police commissioner is saying that these are serious crimes. They're going to investigate, right? But here's what the folks in Baltimore are saying. And this is what I'm hearing. They are saying, unfortunately, sadly, they're not surprised at all. They're saying also what we see on television, like with The Wire, that's not action. I'm sorry, that's not fiction. That's not, drama. That's fact. They believe that this has been happening for years. And now it's on tape. So, yeah, we need really some type of serious reform. One, should officers be allowed to turn their cameras on or off? In this case, he thought he was turning it on, didn't realize it was still recording officially. And then two, what should be, how do we handle it when an officer is facing serious allegations? How do we handle it? Also needs to seriously be addressed. So all eyes are on Baltimore right now. Definitely going to keep watching the situation there. Now, let's get into our topic of the day. Now, here's the situation. Remember last week I was talking to you about a cowspiracy I looked up. It was a Netflix documentary called What the Health. Now, I was able to check out What the Health, and man, this cheese lover, it looks like may be becoming vegan. Let me just know, all right, before I get into this documentary, I'm not going to go too far in. I just want to suggest ultimately that you look at it and see for yourself. But I want to talk to you how it's affecting me. Years ago, right, I became a vegetarian. Years, became a vegetarian. And I remember at the time that I was a vegetarian. I'm not a Catholic, but I do practice Lent. I think it's good to give up something and connect to God, or take on something and connect to God. I think that's a really, really good practice. Sacrifice in this way. I think it's a good practice. So for Lent one year, I gave up eating cheese. And this is when I had been a vegetarian, I think at that point for 5 years. And I cried. I did. I'm not even joking with you. I was telling someone, I guess I'll have to give up cheese for Lent this year. And I couldn't believe it. I was wiping tears from my eyes, right? And I was like, what is this? And I even I had recurring dreams of eating cheeseburgers. Now, at that point, I had been a vegetarian, like I said, for 5 years. But I haven't eaten beef since the 8th grade. It was after a Big Mac attack. I had what was that? The Big Mac. Oh man, a Big Mac, and it attacked my stomach for hours and hours and hours. And after that, I had given up beef. So it was crazy for me to actually dream years and years and years later of eating a cheeseburger because I miss cheese so much. So just know, this is emotionally reluctant, but intelligently, consciously, I have no choice. So the documentary, I'm not going to go all into it. I'm just going to talk about some of the things that really affected me, that made me come to the realization that I have to really take my health consciousness to another level. And I'm pretty healthy. Like everybody could be healthier, but for the most part, I can eat well and not really have to exercise a lot. Don't kill me. I'm just saying it's possible for me. And yeah, now I'm really trying to get back even healthier since having my baby. And I'm looking up this documentary, man, and the interviewer, the guy that's doing it, he says to one of the doctors, he says, well, what's better, eating chicken or beef? And the doctor was like, that's like asking what's better, being hung or shot. What? Being hung or shot? Yes. So some of the things that they talk about is this notion. It's how can we trust an organization, right, that makes recommendations, that's funded by the people that they should be regulating? I'm going to say it one more time. Let's think about that, right? So would you trust the tobacco company recommending to you that you should smoke cigarettes? It seems like the interest is kind of biased. Yes. So, yeah, I definitely want to urge that not only, you have some time, it's on Netflix. I mean, the information is out there. I like this documentary because they don't necessarily beat you over the head. It's not, it's very intelligent and very spot on and logical. I mean, I know a lot of people have given up pork for years. I mean, a lot of people have, but I didn't know that often pigs eat dead pigs. It's disgusting. I also didn't know that chickens were living in close proximity to other dead chickens. I didn't know that. And then we eat them. I didn't know that. It's a lot that I didn't know. But more importantly, I want to be able to continue to live healthy. And I don't mean just living. I mean, I want to still climb mountains. Okay. And I'm not talking about, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not hiking like mountains, this kind of climbing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about walking and jogging, up mountainous paths. That's what I do. I want to be able to do that with my son, my son's family, his children. That's what I want to be able to do when I'm older. I want to be able to still run and to think that it's not so much, I mean, it is a lot to do with what we're putting in our body, but it's a lot has to do with how in America we are handling the supply, There is a high demand for chicken, a high demand for beef. But how do you really handle that high demand? What is the effect of it? So, yeah, I'm not here to really tell you what to do. That's not my job. That's not my job. I'm just here to kind of tell you, some of the things that I found out and how I'm reluctantly, and that has to say a lot, reluctantly changing my life. Even my husband, and this guy is addicted to ice cream and he's lactose intolerant, man. It's tough. He's lactose intolerant and addicted to ice cream. And now he realized, he's like, I gotta let ice cream go. So we are a sad house. We're a sad house. And I smile through pain because that's just how I roll. I smile through pain. But it's gotta be serious if I'm talking to you about this and saying that a cheese lover. This is one more time. This is a woman who dated someone who made t-shirts. And I was gonna get the guy at the time to make me a t-shirt that said, I love cheese. Please, if somebody wants the idea, you could do it. I guess. Don't be angry at me, but that's how much I love cheese. I gotta let it go. Fish. Gotta let it go. So yeah, you get some time. Check it out. Remember on this show, I really try not to tell you all specifically how to live your lives, but just arm you with the knowledge to make better decisions for you. So I'm going to get ready to wrap up the show now. I'll keep you posted on how the letting go of the cheese goes. And this, I mean, right now there's a refrigerator full of cheese, a variety of assortments, and chicken, man, and chicken. Yeah, this is the last run for us. I don't know. So yeah, I'll be back next week. Again, thank you so much for watching the show. A big hello to HD Morris 255, I believe. I'm doing off the top of my brain. Thank you so much for always watching the show and sharing your feedback with me. And for those of you that watch the show and don't leave your comments as well, I appreciate it. I see you. I appreciate you. As I said, we are a stealth bunch and doing what I can to help the people. Okay, so hope you have a tremendous weekend. Thank you so much for watching the show, and I'll see you next week.